Hello, in this video I'll be showing you my Soviet military that I use for the board game Axis and Allies. I'll try to keep a little bit of historical accuracy, but also ease of recognition on the board. We'll start with the Navy, and right off the bat you can see that along the waterline every piece is painted a bright red, and again that's that whole ease of recognition on the game board. So we'll go first with the transports. A lot of the Russian pieces, nothing fancy except for when I tried to put some Siberian camouflage and snow, but most of these it's just a lot of brown and gray and reds for Russians. Put a little bit of silver where the bridge should be to kind of show like windows, and all together pretty unexciting piece. Next I'll show you one of the destroyers. Let's see. There we go. You can kind of see the smokestacks. That was a fun little highlight. Makes it pop a little. The gun turrets I tried to do a darker gray instead of the silver. A little more exciting than the transport. Submarines, altogether a pretty unexciting piece. Got some silver highlights for where the guns were and the hatch. Big red star. Make it obvious what team it's on. Battleships. Pretty straightforward on these pieces. Big smokestack. Highlighted the gun turrets with kind of a darker gray. Silver for the rest of the superstructure. Big old red star. And once again red along the waterline. And then finally we'll go to the aircraft carriers. These were a lot more fun because you can see I was able to put some of the landing strip detail on. Just put some tape down and use different colors. Pull the tape up and you have a nice crisp line. On all my other militaries that actually have aircraft, like my aircraft carriers, I did play around with them, try to give each aircraft carrier a little bit of a unique look. So you see this one doesn't have the launch apparatus painted, whereas the other one has it painted in yellow. And anyone who's played Russia, I don't think anyone's ever been able to buy one of these because the economy is so bad in the game. Next we'll move on to the infantry. I used two different paint schemes for my infantry, just the generic Soviet brown looking infantrymen, and then I also have some winter style infantrymen with white jackets. I still kept the rest of their colors similar to these to not confuse them with any of my Finnish army, because some people might think that the white winter stuff is a different military than the Russians. And we'll get one of my winter looking guys. Also put some snow, or not snow, camouflage on the base as well as on the helmet. Try to make it a little more authentic. And next we'll move on to an artillery piece. These are all out of the box pieces, so there's nothing too special with them. As you can see, these are all just brown. Highlighted the tire, and I put a big red star on it. Since all the out of the box Allied artillery piece is the exact same piece, the biggest differentiation is the insignia and the color painted on it. I'll move on to the tanks. Once again, all these are out of the box as well. These got a little more detail on them. Not as good as some of the historical board gaming pieces I've bought before, but you can still highlight some of the fuel tanks on the side, or the bag on the, or the camo tarp on the back. Still see some of the suspension on the side, which I did some wet wash and added some rust effects there. The decals I used, I got off Historical Board Gaming's website. And next, the bombers. Once again, out of the box pieces. Now, the actual Russian aircraft during the war did not many of them had insignia on the wings, but I figured this piece was just so big it made sense to put them on the wings because the fuselage is very small. It's actually smaller than the fighter fuselages. I know the whole front piece is not one big glass, but I couldn't. I kind of wanted to make it shine a little more than just doing a little like strip in the front. And then we'll move on to the fighters, and similar to the infantry, I did 2 different paint schemes. Most of them are in the summer style, with the green and the brown. And again, I try to make these accurate by just putting the star on the side. The star on the side is pretty big. That is, from even when it's on the board, you can kind of recognize that as Russian. Painted all the noses red just for some fun. Just a gold gray on the bottom, and used aluminum paint for the to make the cockpit look like it was glass. Here's one of my winter scheme ones. These ones I did put stars on the wings just because I have some other countries, mainly my Germans, were some of the Stutkas I painted in a winter camo scheme, so I didn't want that to be confused if people just saw white. So like I said, there were some aircraft that did put the insignia on the wings. It's just that you couldn't find many pictures of that. Still gray on the bottom. Basically, these pieces I left as the base summer camouflage pattern, and then did the winter painting on top. So that's just a quick round the horn of my Russian pieces. Once again, all these were out of the box. I got the 2004 revised version of Axis and Allies, but with a little paint and some research to find out unique features of these pieces, that you can still make them look pretty good. So thanks for watching. Once again, if you have any tips, if you paint these kind of miniatures too, I'm definitely all ears. And also, if there's something you want to see in the future, leave your remarks down in the comments below.